Hello everyone. In this part we're going to continue where we left off from our last tutorial. So in our last tutorial we were able to successfully import XML data into Excel spreadsheet using a few different ways, and the last example we did was with using the developer tab and the import function. Okay, so right now we have this data. We actually pretended we have extra data and we combined to the data that we pulled from the XML file. So this is a live connection to the XML file, this table here. Okay, so normally when you import using the developer tab, an XML map shows up here on the right hand side, but for some reason it didn't show up in our example. So we're going to bring that map up. It's not that hard, so all we have to do is click the source button here. That's going to bring up the map that we have to the XML file. So this shows the map. This is like the connection to the database. Okay, if you want to think of terms of database. Okay, so like I said, we pretended we had extra data somewhere else in different page or different workbook, and we copied, we merged both data together. So at this point, if I refresh this data, since this is a live connection, it's going to delete, remove the data we just merged. Okay, let's try it. I'm going to click this refresh button here. And as you can see, the 5 records that we have merged from here, from a different source, let's say, it disappeared, removed. Okay. All right, I'm going to tab and add this data back in. And let's Control C to copy and then Control V to paste. Okay, so this right now, this is all part of the map right now. I mean, if I click the selection, the properties here, select properties of elements that are mapped against our XML file, you will see the column is selected. Likewise with the name, likewise with the contact. Contact is the whole thing. Okay, so at this point we are able to export this. Okay, the easiest way probably would be click export, or you can right click on the table and from the menu you can select XML export, but basically the same thing. Okay, once we do that, we get presented with the export dialog box. Now we can either overwrite the existing file, or we can rename the file. If you want to save as a new file, we can give it a different name, say my contacts.xml. Okay, and save it. Okay, let's open the files. So this is our contacts file, the original file, and this one here is the new file that we just created with extra data in it. Again, you can overwrite the existing files. This, if you overwrite it, it's going to add the additional data to it. But we created a separate file, so whichever works for you. Okay, so that's export. Now at this point, since this is data, I think, well, still our link is to the, let me refresh this again. Yes, so the link is still to my contacts, I mean the contacts file. Okay, even though we save this file, the whole data as a different, unless we overwrite this file, the map is against that file. So when you refresh it, it's gonna pull that. So you want to pay attention a little there if you want to, use the same mapping. Okay, so that's that. Now there are some cases where you have a ton of Excel data you want to export to XML file. Okay, let's say you have a table, or well, actually just raw data in Excel, thousands of rows of data, and you want to export that to an XML file, and then do whatever you want to do with the XML file. Okay, so we're going to go back to the other sheet, and I'm actually going to copy this data here and pretend we have a ton of data somewhere else. Actually, you know what? I'm just since we have the names here with the titles. Well, you know what? Doesn't matter really. Copy, paste, and well, I don't want. I keep pasting the format too, so I just want to actually paste as values. Just values. Okay, let me grab some more data from that page. I'm gonna grab this part too. Copy, and I'm gonna paste special without the format. Values. Okay, so now we are assuming that we have a ton of data, and we want to convert this to XML file. Okay, so I'm just gonna say name here again. Just give column names and phone. Okay. All right, let's say I want to convert this data to an XML file. All right, so for that, I mean, obviously we can use this mapping, but I don't really want to use this mapping. Let's say we don't have a mapping, okay? We just have raw data and we want to export that. So the way to do that, we're going to need to create a sample XML file that mimics the pattern here, okay? So just like our context data, but we just need minimum two records in that file. So I'm going to open a notepad. I'm just going to create a simple XML file that we're going to use as a map. Okay, so let's type in our declaration. Version equals double quotes 1.0, close double quotes, question mark, and angle bracket. That's our declaration. So the root elements, let's say I want to create a people root element, and in the people root element I want to have person. So person object. Okay, this data I'm going to type in here doesn't have to be real, just dummy data. You can even type in like SpongeBob or something. Okay, it's just going to be used as a map. Well, I didn't close the person tag, right? Person. And then let's say we have a cell tag, and this is 111 111 1111. That's 10 digits. You can use parens if you want to in the area code. Let's close the person tag. We have the name. Well, oh, sorry. I messed up here. Just a second. So that should be name here. Just have to be at the end here. So let's close the name tag. So person, name, cell, and we're closing the person tag. Let's copy and paste this once more, since we need two records at least that shows the pattern of the XML file. Okay, so let's change this to, I don't think we have to change this, but Let's change it anyway. Let's say Sam. I'm gonna leave the phone number alone. Doesn't matter. And so we have two persons object, and let's close it. Root element people. Okay, simple as that. So we have two persons object, and we have the parent, which is the people. Right, that should be enough for our mapping. I'm going to save this as an XML file. So let's call this person schema. It's not really a schema file, but just to distinguish between schema files are XSD files, but again, that's not the point. We're using this as a mapping tool. Schema that person schema.xml. We are going to use this file as a mapping. Okay. So now that we have that, I'm going to go here, click on XML map. The button here, down below here on the right hand where it says XML source. Down below we have this button that says XML maps. So I'm going to click that. So this is our current mapping we have with the sheet 2 table. I'm going to click add. I'm going to select that file we just created, person schema. Okay, click open. It's going to display the same message we had before. Click OK. So now we have this mapping here. Okay, I'm going to select, click OK. Now it displays the map that we just created. Okay, so here we can do either drag and drop each property to each column, or we can just select the whole object, drag and drop right here. Okay, once you do that, it converts this into a table and maps it. So if you click now, if you click on properties, you'll see the corresponding columns get selected. Okay, so that means we did the mapping correctly. Okay, again, this can be a large file, and now we are ready to export this file to an XML file. Okay, let's go back to our developer tab. Now notice that here I have the cell property, here this form property. Let's see which one it gets exported as. Okay, I'm going to select this one. I'm going to give it a name. I'm just going to call this people.xml file. Okay, export. Let's open our folder and check out our XML file. So it kept the property name consistent. It didn't pay attention to the table column name. It just took, pays attention to these properties here, the mapping here. Not the, again, it maps this to these properties. So, okay, and there you have it. So this is the people. Okay, people.xml. Okay, so that's how you export pure Excel data, raw Excel data, out to an XML file. Okay, I think that's it for now. I'll see you in the next tutorial. All right, have a good day now. Thank you. Bye-bye.